The Monday Morning Show with Mike Bennett on Logan City's 101 FM.
So the Monday Morning Show it is indeed. And, you know, I always get excited when we get glamorous guests in here. And we've got, because I have to say, to be fair, Michael Caff that was on, great guy, not glamorous. Whereas our next guest, Sharlene Savage, is indeed. Welcome to 101 FM.
Thank you for having me, Mike.
And Sharlene, I mean, I'm going to talk about your big weekend in a minute. It's been a huge weekend for you. But what was very interesting, and Sharlene and I connected on Facebook, which is where we get a lot of connections now. We talk about social media a lot on here. And you kind of reached out to me and told me some of the things you were doing, and told me in particular about this great Entrepreneurs Making a Difference that you've launched with 800 members already, which is fantastic. But when you sent me some details, you've had an interesting 4 years, haven't you?
I have indeed.
And if you think where you are now compared to where you were 4 years ago, that's quite a transition, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. So, you know, hence why I wanted to reach out to you, because there's more to, I guess, this group called Entrepreneurs Making a Difference. I've branded it EMAD.
Yeah, EMAD's good. I like that.
Yeah, it seems to ring a pretty good tune with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I guess, 4 years ago, I was in a completely different place. I decided to move across the ditch of my homeland from New Zealand. Yes, that's a Kiwi accent, guys, that you're hearing here.
That's all right. I'm not from right. We have to put translation. We put subtitles on the radio because people don't understand me either, so it's fine.
So 4 years ago, I moved over here with my family to start a new life. And, things didn't quite go as planned over there, even though I was hugely successful in business and in life in terms of behind closed doors, and on a personal level, things weren't quite going as we had perceived, or others had perceived us to go. My marriage came crashing down about 3.5 years ago after my husband had filed for divorce when we came here to Brisbane. And without having any family support or having made any new friends, I then made the decision to undergo the process of starting over on my own.
And that's a huge thing. And, let's be honest about it. When you decided to move from New Zealand to Australia, I'm guessing as a family, everything was fine. I mean, it was all, everything was good, or you wouldn't have made such a big jump.
Yes, and even still, Mike, I must admit that it was quite daunting as well at the same time.
But it is. And I can understand, because obviously we travelled over from the UK. We sold up everything and moved here, and we've been here 2.5 years. And even now, sometimes you think, "Wow, did we really do that?" So huge, and also to have had at the time a 10-year-old son as well.
Yes,
that must have been really difficult.
Yes. So a lot of changes had happened. So having to start off out on my own as a single parent, really, to my 10-year-old son. Not only did it impact myself, but clearly for him as well. That our children are heavily influenced by their parents and what happens in their home surroundings. And that entailed quite a journey. I found myself confronting my biggest fears, facing the years of the likes of emotional and physical and psychological and sexual abuse. It just sort of seemed to overwhelm me. It came crashing down all at the same time. It just brought moments and feelings of abandonment and rejection.
Because I think what happens when you've had an experience like that, or traumas like that, you tend to try and suppress it, and you bury it, and it's only when you have another trauma that it all comes out.
Yes.
Obviously, I'm not going to pry too much, but you talk about a lot of things that are emotional, physical, psychological, alcoholic, sexual abuse. I'm guessing this is as you were growing up, this is your childhood we're talking about?
Yes, that was my childhood. And, I didn't really know any different. I thought that was how life was. I mean, if you've watched your typical Once We're Warriors movie, I'm not sure if you've seen that movie, Mike. Some of the listeners may have. It was very similar. So that movie was quite profound, and it was like, that's how we live, which is quite disheartening and quite sad for a lot of people to accept.
And the thing is, if you don't know any different, and like you said yourself, that to you was normal.
It was normal, yeah.
At what stage did you realise, hang on, this is not normal and this is unacceptable?
Yeah, and I realised that it was a couple of years ago, to 20th of July 2014, actually.
Wow.
I had, basically, I was hungover. I was throwing myself into the alcohol, from the separation and things like that. However, I just woke up one morning thinking, there has to be more. There there has to be more.
Sure.
And, I'll be honest, my journey was I literally cried out to God. I was in my room and I says, God, if you are real, can you help me and save me? I've spent 38 years of my life trying to run away from all this trauma. There has to be more. There has to be a way where I can get through this. And I literally found myself Googling Hillsong Church. I'd never known to really like the church then.
I was
going to
say, so was, and I'm guessing just from what you said, you've pretty well answered my question. Was this something? Were you a great churchgoer before?
No,
Okay.
No. I was completely in the world and doing my own thing. But I'd seen Hillsong on TV, and so I googled it and found the service at Mount Gravatt, which is not far from me. And found the service time, looked at my watch, and got myself showered up, got in my car, and drove there. And I thought, what on earth am I doing? I have no idea. No one's invited me. And I literally went into that church. They waved out to me, and I just felt love, and absolute love.
And isn't that great? And people, and I've got friends who are sort of avid churchgoers, and they say, it's not really about the religion. It's not about the faith you follow. It's you said it yourself. It's about being loved, and just people going, we're not going to judge you.
Yes.
We're not going to, and that's great. So what else, apart from that, what else made the difference to you? Because obviously you've had this wake-up call now. You think that you know what, if I don't stop doing what I'm doing, I'm going to end up in a ditch, and my son is going to suffer as a result of this. Did you have, I know it's hard when you come to a new country, you got no friends, you got no support network. Did you manage to build up people who were supporting you?
Yeah, absolutely. And because I'd, found this new way of life through God, I decided, okay, well, I've kind of stuffed up my own plans. Really, I did my own thing for so long that I decided to follow his plan. And I actually left my job at the time, and I quit my job. They thought I was crazy, and I attended Bible college. That really gave me an understanding of not so much the theory, but also the volunteering side of things, and actually serving others and being able to serve people in the community that were coming into the church, much like 101 FM, you guys volunteer to do a service, and people need to know about these things. So it's pretty much aligned with the same sort of thing. So I decided to get myself involved in that. Loved it. Learned to love people because I loved myself, and that's
something. The thing as well, because I know, and especially when you've been a victim of abuse, and we talk to a lot of people, we've had people in here talking about DV and alcohol abuse and whatever, you tend to blame yourself. You tend to think it's your fault. So you have to actually start off by liking yourself, and then, as you say, moving on to love yourself as well. You've mentioned what we do here at 101. We do it because we love it. And there's a great satisfaction out of giving back, actually. And it's great. I want to move on to other stuff that you're doing, and where I was interested in, especially on Facebook and on social media. You said you call it EMAD, Entrepreneurs Making a Difference.
Yes.
Okay, so you yourself are now an entrepreneur because you're making a living from your own business.
I am. So, and the whole idea behind it was to basically build my network. And they say your network is your net worth.
That's what they say.
And as a home business, I didn't really have a great deal of connections within the community. So I decided to develop and create my own community, allowing other people who are in the same situation as me, small to medium-sized businesses, to grow their network. And so hence why the name EMAD came up. And since doing so, it's attracted, not only people locally here in Brisbane, but across the world. We're getting a lot of people comment and part of this group. It's a social interactive group as well. But we do meet live every month as well.
Which is lovely. And you've done so well because, to have 800, I know I started my Media Answers group about 3 months ago, and I got to 100 and I thought I was doing well. And then I saw, wow, hang on, I'm doing something wrong here because you've got 800.
I might have had God's favour on my side there, Mike.
That's what I'm missing. That's what it is. But it's really great. And I love the idea as well because a lot of these groups, and I was guilty as anybody, you have an online group, but you never actually meet anybody. And I think that's how you're winning because then people will share all of that stuff. Yeah. So what will people get if people join your group? And I tell you what, you're going to get more joining it today. What do people get? What kind of people would benefit from joining your group?
Yeah, so basically at EMAD, we don't sell anything. For example, people thought, oh yeah, you're just there selling your business. I'm like, no, actually I'm creating community. So when people come to an EMAD meetup, they are receiving value. So I like people to come and taking away value. So we've had speakers such as how to grow your business in terms of creating events and how to do that effectively and efficiently. We've had people from experts in Instagram, how to use social media as different platforms to raise your profile, your awareness it's all great, to grow that network.
So really relevant to especially small business today. I mean,
yes.
that's really important.
Yes.
I should come and speak for you guys.
You know what? Let's do it. 2017, we'll lock you in there, Mike. That'd be
we'll
great.
organise that. That'd be great. I'm just so pleased for you for what you've done, and also it's kind of inspirational to anybody who finds himself in a similar position that may have. And you've done a lot, because it's the two biggest things: moving house, getting divorced, and you did them both in the space of a very short space of time, and to continue bringing up your son as well.
Yes.
How's he doing?
He's doing great. He's now 13. He is an entrepreneur himself. He's actually put together a proposal for me, and he says, Mum, here's my proposal for my own online business. So he wants to start up an online gaming business, and he's already come up with the funds. He says, Mum, I need this X amount of money, and if you invest in me, how about I give you this return? What are your thoughts? So we're negotiating at the moment.
You've trained him well.
I have trained him well. He doesn't want to go to school either, so which is a problem.
that is a problem. I have just very quickly, we've been discussing this morning. We've got it on our Facebook page as well. I got a bee in my bonnet about schoolies. I can't understand how any parent could allow a 17-year-old to go and get off the face. What's your opinion of it all?
My opinion on that is my son's actually had an opinion on that, and I value his opinion quite highly. And for a 13-year-old, he's very mature. In fact, he's seen it on media, and his comments were, Mum, that just is not good. Yeah. There's nothing good about schoolies whatsoever. I don't want to go, Mum. There's much more I can do with my life, like make a difference. So,
what a smart, well brought up young man. And I always say it's down to the parenting.
Yes,
and
it is.
and I'm not asking everybody this morning to agree with me, because we've all got our own opinions, but I just can't get my head round. And again, emergency services, the amount of work that they've got to do to rescue all these idiots, and then you've got people taking advantage of young people's naivety. I don't understand why in 2016 we're allowing this to happen.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I was in that space myself, hence why I got to where I was. I'd just been living that type of lifestyle, but I guess I didn't really know what I didn't know, and
that's the thing, you don't,
and neither did my parents, so they allowed me to go to these things, to be honest with you.
But you've done, obviously you've learned from that, and it sounds like your son is a very smart young. I wouldn't be surprised if we're hearing quite a lot of him in the years
ahead. You will.
Remember, and if you are listening, remember where you got your first mention.
Yeah, his name is Savage. Just watch that space.
I will watch that space. Do you know what, Sharlene? I knew it would be a joy speaking to you today. It's been an absolute pleasure. I love hearing success stories. I love hearing inspirational stories where people have been pretty well at rock bottom, but whatever way you do it, to get back on top again. And I think anybody listening this morning, and I have to say, if anybody has been affected by the things that Sharlene's been talking about this morning, give us a shout here on 38081101. We will put you and Sharlene in touch with each other. I can thoroughly recommend that you join Entrepreneurs Making a Difference. It's a great group on Facebook. I'm not as active on there as I should be. I'm sorry, but I will be.
You will be when you're a guest speaker.
Absolutely, and I look forward to that. And thank you so much for reaching out and contacting us here at 101 FM.
Thank you. A blessing to have me here. Thank you so much.
Sharlene Savage on 101 FM. And like I say, if you want to get in touch with her, if you'd like to make contact with her, find out a little bit more about the work that she's doing and how she got to where she is today, give us a shout here at the station, or you can contact us via our Facebook page.